You know, this conversation is going to be very important because most people just lavish their money. At times, you have the money with you. Maybe you will have a plan. You want to do something. 10,000 problems come in front of you, and then next thing you know, you finish using the money, and then before you remember that you needed that money for a particular reason. So one of the reasons, it's important for people to understand how to manage their finances, so you know why you have the money and what you need to use the money for. So this conversation is important for even me, Mensah. I'm one of those. I'm talking about myself. I have this amount, and I have a purpose for a particular reason, but then I will forget that I need to use it for that purpose, and then I use it for something else. And then before I remember, I say, "Oh, I was supposed to use that money for this particular reason." And before you know it, I didn't use it for that reason. It passed. I will have a whole list of what I need to do. I'll say, "This is what I want to get. That is what I want to get." But then when the money gets in my hand, I completely forget and do different things before I remember that I needed to do that thing. And the money already gone. So
let's bring Peaches and Leon on.
Yeah, so they can explain to us. The mistake again today, they thought according to them, they said 1 o'clock.
Oh.
Yeah, and your time changed. I just talked to Mr. Mensah. When the time will change again? It's confusing us.
I'm telling you, so is spring.
They said it will still come on, but they have 1 o'clock in their head.
Forward and far back. So until spring, our time is not going to go forward. Because we spring forward and we fall back. So until I think spring is, I don't know how long spring is supposed to go for, and then we'll have the time change. So we got to look at the flyer and put 1 o'clock USA time.
So 1 o'clock. Then what time will it be here for us?
What time did you guys come? It's
6 o'clock. It's after 6 right now. So is it going to be 5 p.m.?
Yeah,
our time?
Yes.
But then the program is 6 p.m. in Liberia. Our time is 6 p.m. That's the program time. But they are here and I will bring them on. Should I bring them on?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yes, please bring them on.
Welcome, Mr. Mensah and Dr. Andrews. You are both welcome.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Can you guys hear us okay?
Yes, we can hear you guys.
Okay, fantastic.
Oh, I can hear you guys well, but in Nigeria and
TV.
I think
there's a little echo in your voice there, Mr. Mensah.
Please check your computer. You need to mute from the computer. And you will still come through. Yeah. All right. So if you're just coming our way, we'd like to welcome you. This is Spoon Talk Business right here on Spoon 107.5 FM. We are right here in Congo Town. And of course, the program is live on Spoon TV, Fabric TV, Super TV. We welcome you. Okay. Good evening from our end. Nope, Mr. Mensah, we are not hearing you. Sorry, I think you have to.
Now?
Yeah,
okay.
Much better.
Say something again.
Testing mic, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Mike has been
tested. Dr. Peaches, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Good afternoon.
I'm fine,
good
thank
evening,
you.
Good morning. How's everything? Can you hear us?
That's everything.
Oh, great.
Good.
So I want to turn the program over to you, Mr. Mensah, and to you, Dr. Peaches, to have this discussion about financial management. So you can start off maybe by telling us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been doing this, and introduce yourself as it relates to financial management. And then you can tell us how we can grow our money or keep our money or use our money, either way the conversation flows.
You get started. Okay, I'll get started. She wants me to. Good afternoon, everyone. Very, very excited to be with you all today on Swarm Television Network. My name is Leon Mensah, financial consultant in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. And of course, it's a pleasure to join the wonderful host, Dr. Princeton Chinoway Richardson, Ms. Kana, Lorena, and of course, my partner here today with describing the financial topic, Dr. Peaches Andrews. And we're just so thrilled, because we have such a gem to share with our community, as we know, we're so much behind in so many aspects of finances, and we want to share some light on how we as a community can better ourselves, okay, to have more resources at our disposal, better take care of our family, our communities, and all the things we seek to accomplish. As you know, that approximately 70% of African Americans don't have any sort of financial plans to put in place. We're way behind in terms of home ownership, way behind in terms of retirement assets. I mean, we're way behind essentially almost all the metrics. So we're here today to provide education that's going to help change that. So I'll turn it over to my partner and let her introduce herself.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, based on where you are. My name is Dr. Peaches Andrews, and we're from the Lanham Financial Center in Lanham, Maryland. And I've been with this organization since 2013, and it's been a very good opportunity to come into the financial industry. I've learned a lot since I came into this space. And we're bringing this to our Liberian community because our goal.
Can you project yourself a little more?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I don't want to miss this today.
Well, I'm so excited. So anyway, yes, like I was saying, our goal is to bring this information to our community as a whole, the African American Liberian community, because we are so lagging in the financial education. So we're here to educate our people on how to best manage their money and make better financial decisions and choices so that we can get our community on par with the rest of our counterparts that are making it and changing their communities. Okay, so I'm glad to be here. I'm happy to be here, Dr. Francine. Thank you for having me, Dr. Miss Conan. Thank you for having me, and Lorena. Thank you so much for having us here today. And I just again want to thank my special partner here who made this all possible. We thank you all. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's do it.
Let's do it.
Dr. Francine, we can hear you.
I was going. Thank you. I was just going to tell you, welcome to Spoon. It's great to have both of you. So just tell us where we lost financially, as you probably said. We're far behind, so we're counting on you to lead us in this discussion.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll kick it off. So the first thing I want to start off with is a quote. This quote is by a gentleman, Benjamin Disraeli. Okay. So the quote says, "Nothing can resist the human will that can stake even its existence on its purpose." So before you do anything, whether it's financial or anything else, you first have to make a determination within your own mind. Okay. So if you decide to free yourself from poverty, if you decide to free yourself from all of the elements that keep us from not achieving financial success, it first starts up within the mind. So we have to convince ourselves that we want to take this new path forward, especially as we get into a new year. We want to take this new path forward to transform the financial picture, not only for our generation, but generations to come. And we're going to take the necessary course of action to make that happen. So today, Madam Peaches and myself have a 7-step process which we must follow if we're to free ourselves from this financial calamity that many of us face in our community. So the first is that we must first begin by assessing what our financial picture is, right? What are the income sources? What are our expenses? Now, too often times we think of, well, the first thing we must do is to cut back on living expenses, which is fine, but we first have to start to think from an abundance mindset. So we need to optimize our income sources. So all of us need at least 6 income sources, okay? So if you have a job, that's great, that's fantastic, don't quit the job, but you cannot just rely on that job. You have to find alternate ways to generate income. It could be other jobs, side jobs. It could be business. It could be earning investments. If you put your money in investments, you can earn, for those of you who live in advanced countries, you can earn dividends from those investments, either through the stock market or even directly invested in companies, right? So think of ways to optimize the income stream because, I mean, we can have all the great plans. The problem is if we don't have enough income, there's only but so much we can go, right? So optimize the income stream. Try to get to 6 buckets of income stream. And then after we do that, we start to minimize on expenses. Now, we have a rule. The rule is called 75, 15, and 10. So we don't want to spend more than 75% of our net income, our take-home pay. Whatever we take home, we never want to spend more than 75%. 15% of the income we want to invest, meaning we want to put it into instruments going to grow, whether it's investment in companies, investment in stock market, investment in real estate, investment in something you want to grow. And lastly, but at least 10% we want to keep aside for the rainy day. Let's say if you have an emergency expense, or a lot of people in America now are losing their jobs, right? The government is doing a lot of layoffs. So those are the reasons why you want to have this emergency bucket, or problem with the car, or problem with the kids. Something always happens. So we have that emergency bucket to be able to handle those expenses. So, my piece, we'd like to elaborate on this. We'll move on to the next one.
Sure. Yes, like you said, we do an assessment of how what your financial picture looks like before we even sit with you to start giving you advice on what to do or strategies that to do to get out of your current situation. We do that financial strategy, what we call the personal financial strategy. We work with you um, um, developing your goals, realizing what you want to accomplish, and then help you go through those goals, like whether it's a long-term goal, short-term goal, or a one-year plan. We work with you, we sit down and list all your expenses, your assets and liabilities. We take all those into consideration, and then we deduct all that from your income, whether you have one, two, three jobs, whatever your income is, we deduct that from there to show you on paper. We put this on paper so you see what your financial picture looks like on paper. Because if you keep it in your mind, you won't really know where your money is going. You won't know. You're just spending, like blindly. You're just spending and spending, and at the end of the day, you cannot account for where your money went. So that's why we do this personal financial analysis, so that you can see where you're spending and where you need to cut down on. All right.
Absolutely. Those are fantastic point. Definitely a personal financial analysis, very, very critical to the overall financial planning process. And by the way, we put in a link my team has put a link in the post. If you read the comments, you see cloudacy.com. Essentially, you can go in, fill out your profile. Then, by the way, information is saved and encrypted, and we'll reach out to you. So, any of the things we're discussing today, if you need any help in one of those areas, go to www.cloudacytech.com, and we'll reach out to you in terms of providing any personal financial plan like Ms. Andrews talked about. And the next step, right, after we do this personal financial assessment, is really protection of your financial assets. When we say protection, we mean things like adequate insurance, right? So you need health insurance, you need life insurance, you need disability, you need long-term care. Those are the 4 sort of basic sort of insurances you need. Now it's obvious. We as human beings like to be optimistic, and we think things are going to go well, and many times they do. But the reality of being life is that sometimes they don't, and we have to be planning for what if things don't go so well, right? Do we have the right health insurance? You have to go to the hospital, because if you don't have the right health insurance, go to the hospital, and your medical bill is huge. That can end up setting you back from a financial perspective. So one of the things are adequate health insurance, adequate life insurance. Now, life insurance is by far one of the best, if not the best way to transfer assets onto your family. For a lot of times, just a fraction of it, maybe $50, $100 a month, you could transfer $500,000 or $1 million to your family member. There's really no other instrument throughout mankind's history where you can put so little and transfer so much back to your, to your family. Things like disability insurance, it helps protect if the person becomes disabled and cannot work. So let's say you were sick for 6 months or 1 year. The disability insurance will kick in and be able to replace typically a portion of your income. And a lot of times that income is not taxable because it's associated with disability. So you receive tax-free income to take care of yourself and your family members in the event that the person was to become sick or incapacitated in some way. So we talk about adequate life insurance, talk about adequate disability insurance, adequate long-term care, right? Insurance, adequate health insurance. Those are the primary insurance tools you want to put in place to help protect you and your family. Ms. Andrew, you want to comment on this?
Sure. Yeah, speaking of protection, okay. Protection. First of all, you protect like you're building a house. When you're trying to form your financial foundation, you start by like you're building a house, you start from your foundation and then you move up the walls and then eventually your roof. So same thing here in the financial industry, you start with proper protection, meaning you're protecting your income, your assets, and your health. Like you said, you might be disabled or some accident or something, disability might kick in, or you might have to protect your home, and then you might have to protect your income in case something was to happen to you. What do you have in place to take care of your family, your expenses, your liabilities? What do you have in place if that income is no longer there? That's why proper protection is vital. It's critical to our financial foundation. So building that financial foundation, think about what can you do to start implementing, putting things in place is very crucial. Okay, that foundation for protection.
Absolutely. Great job on the protection strategies. Very, very, we came from a conference last weekend in North Carolina, and, you wouldn't be surprised. There are a lot of people in the minority communities. I mean, they're getting as a wealth transfer tools, like something like 6 million, 10 million, $20 million insurance, okay, to be able to pass on. This is forever changing the generation. And that's one of Ms. Andrews and myself goal is our plan, by the way, is to be able to transfer $1 billion to our community over the next 30 years by having 2,000 families sign up for this insurance program. Through what they call death benefit, right? The family can access this amount. Again, that's $1 billion, over our community over the next 30 years. So the next bucket in which we're going to
I'm
talk about
sorry.
is
I'm sorry, guys. I had a question, but I don't know if it's appropriate for me to ask now, or I don't want to interrupt.
Yeah, feel free. Absolutely. Yeah.
So you were talking about being able to transfer this $1 billion, life insurance plan to the next generation. Is that something that you guys do in your office? You refer people out to the insurance companies?
Yeah, so that's one of the things we can do. Like Ms. Andrews talking about a personal financial plan. So do an assessment. Basically, the way it works in a nutshell is we assess, okay, what income are you making, and then how can we secure this income? So if the person was no longer be around, how can we capture all that lost income they otherwise would have been making and transfer it to the family? So let's say hypothetically they're making $100,000 US dollars a year, right? We say, okay, well, this person could live another realistically 20 years. That's roughly $2 million, right? So we then would take 2 million. So if they were to pass away today, the family would lose the $2 million of income they would have been getting over the next 20 years, right? So we said, okay, why don't we get a $2 million insurance policy, and then in case the person becomes a decedent, then the $2 million transfers to the family members to take care of the family, kids, to cover living expenses, and that has real impact, right? Because think of someone living in a house, they're paying a mortgage, they have car, they have to pay the kids' tuition, and the breadwinner was to pass away. Essentially, the family is kind of left in the streets. So if they were to replace that income through life insurance, and that amount then passes to the family to be able to cover those practical expenses that people can live, food on the table, school
Okay.
fees, healthcare, et cetera, et cetera. But
Okay.
yes, directly. So we can do that in our office, and that's one thing that come out of the results of the personal financial plan of the family.
And I'll let you go on. So what of the biggest hesitation about getting such a large life insurance seems to be you have to pay a premium every month for that, right? Do you is your service any difference, like where maybe you help reduce the premium so you, at least you live, or because $1 million insurance plan that's quite ambitious.
Yes, 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 yes. I agree with you, but what you need to do is
Uh-huh.
first of all determine your need for insurance
Yes.
based on what we call the dime method. Okay, dime meaning how much debt are you in? Your income you need at least 10 times your annual income for the next 10
Uh-huh.
years to provide income for the family. And then, of course, if you have a mortgage, we take that into consideration. And if you have kids that have to go to college, so
Yeah,
it costs about over 120,000 just to send one child to a 4-year institution.
that's
So
true.
based on the dime method, we put all those, we add all those up, and whatever figure we come up with, that's how much protection you need. Okay, you could come up with $1 million need, but your income is something else. So what we do is we don't have power to bring down the premium.
Oh,
Okay, we don't
sure.
have that power. Whatever insurance company we pay you up with, they won't make
Sure.
the decision. So
That's
what we
true.
do is we encourage you to now start looking at that financial strategy plan that we did for you. Start cutting down on some unnecessary spending because we do some unnecessary spending. We
Yes,
we
we do.
we buy our wants and not our needs. Okay, we need to
Yes.
start focusing on our needs and not buy one get one free stuff that we do here in the United States. We go to the store and we see the ad buy one get one free. We go crazy and we don't use those
Hmm.
things. So those unnecessary spending, we help you
Yes.
cut this down and even getting what they call cable TV. People are so busy working, working, working. They don't have time to sit and watch 300 channels
That's
when they only
correct.
need two. So those are the kind of unnecessary spending we try to so you can streamline your spending to be able to
Okay.
afford
That
this
makes sense.
policy. Yes,
Make a
so
lot of
that's
sense.
how we
Thank
do
you.
it. And then also if that's not enough, we invite you to come and join us. Come and join us, join the campaign. Let's change our community. We make money in here because you have to be licensed to do what we do. Whichever state you live in, the state will license you. And then you come on board. Come on board and make money and turn things around. That's what I did because when before this thing came to me, I was in a childcare business, okay? And things were not going too well. So luckily, they found me. When they found me, they didn't even have to come to me. They were coming for my daughter. Okay, but
Awesome.
when I heard what they was telling her, I was in a different room, and they were trying to tell her about the business, about this
Yes.
financial business. And I ran from in the kitchen. I said, hold up, excuse me. Can I listen in on this?" She said, "Sure." Before she could even finish, I said, "How can I join? Because this makes sense. And this is the only way I'm going to get out of poverty because I was dead broke. When it came to me, I was dead broke. And you
Yes.
know what I mean by being dead broke in America.
Yes, I know.
With 4 kids, and I was dead broke. And all five of my 4 kids plus myself were all in college at the same time.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine the student loan debt, the debt I was in? So, with that said, if you cannot meet your finance, join us and let's change our financial outlook, our community.
Thank
There are
you.
other people that are doing this.
Dr.
Thank you.
Peaches, one of
Yeah.
your viewers is asking here, Adrian Dozier
Uh-huh.
is asking, how can we enjoy the financial benefits while alive?
Sure. Because the policies we are talking about, the life insurance, they also come with living benefits. So that old way of thinking that life insurance is just about death,
That's
no.
true.
It's like
Okay.
the cell phone. When the cell phone came, you have flip phone, you had